This is an example of a problem about the sample mean that you need to use the finite population correction factor when you are standardizing your variable. So we have a small town of 900 homeowners, and the average price of the homes are $92,000 with a standard deviation of 6,000. We're going to randomly select 75 homes, and we want to find the probability that the mean price of this sample is less than 90,000. So we are trying to answer this question, the mean price less than 90,000. When we go to standardize this, because the population is 900, pretty small, and the sample size is 75, pretty big compared to the population, we need to check to see if the sample size is more than 5% of the population size. Because if it is, then we need to make this correction factor. 75 over 900 is about 8%. It's a little over 8%. And so we are going to need to make this correction factor. And it comes into play in the denominator of when you standardize. So it looks like this. The numerator will look the same as any standardizing problem. You take your number, you subtract away the mean. In the denominator, when you're working with sample means, you put the standard error down here, which is your standard deviation divided by the square root of your sample size. But we're going to have to put this correction factor attached to here. And the correction factor is your population size minus your sample size, so 900 minus 75. And then your population minus 1. So population minus 1 would be 900 minus 1. You put that under a square root, it goes right here, attached to the standard error. The tricky part about this is usually just getting it in the calculator. So I'm going to bring up the calculator and we'll see if we can get this typed in. I'm putting the numerator in. 90,000 minus 92,000 is going to be a negative 2,000. So I'm just going to go ahead and type that without parentheses. And then I'm going to divide. I'm going to start a set of parentheses. 6,000 divided by the square root of 75. And then hit the times key. Whoops, on this calculator I have to hit the right arrow to stop the square root. Then hit the times key, and then square root 825 divided by 899. I have to hit this right arrow key to get this to stop doing the square root on this one. And then end your parenthesis, and then enter. The z is negative 3.01. So we're going to try to figure out. So when we go to our table, we're over here on the left, and we want less than that, and that's what the table shows. So we just need to look up negative 3.01. And I've lost my table, so I'll look it up on a table I have in front of me. It looks like it's 0.0013. Sorry, 0.0013. I lost my table. So not a very likely chance that the price of the sample would be less than $90,000. Very small probability right here. I also should mention this. On this particular kind of calculator, when you do the square root, it starts like this, and when you put in a number, then to get it to stop doing the square root, you have to click the right arrow key like that to get it to stop, and then enter to get it to do the square root of something. On some of the other calculators, when you hit the square root button, it gives you a leading parenthesis right there. And so to get it to stop doing a square root, you have to hit the end parenthesis. So instead of clicking the right arrow key to get it to stop, you have to actually end it with a parenthesis. You'll just have to watch and see which kind of calculator you have to get it to perform the correct way for you. And it may make it a little more difficult for those of you who have the parenthesis key to enter all of this. It may give you a leading parenthesis right before the 825, and you'll have to end one behind the 899. Same way here with the 75. You may have to end a parenthesis behind the 75 before you hit the times key.